Okay.
In this video, I'm going to be explaining how to play the game Blast Off by LogicMills. In this game, we have cards ranging from 0 all the way to 5 in 4 different colors. We have green, blue, red, and yellow, and all of them go from 0 to 5. The way that you play this game is in groups of 2 to 6, and what you're going to want to do to prepare is to shuffle all the cards together, and then you give 4 cards to each player. Let's say that in this case I have 3 people playing. I have myself, so I get 4 cards, a player on my right, a player on my left, and then the final thing you need to do to prepare is to place 1 card of each color in the middle of the table. These can be cards of any number as long as it represents their own color. So for example, I have a blue 1, a red 4, a yellow 3, and a green 2. So it's okay if these have matching numbers, doesn't really matter as long as you have one that represents each color. Now if you looked at the deck, just give it a quick shuffle again and then place it in the middle of the table so everyone can draw from it. Now what's going to happen is that on your turn, you get to place 1 card and draw one. When you place a card, you can choose any of the cards from your hand, but when you place it, you have to place it in the corresponding color. So here, if I wanted to place down a green card, I place it onto the existing green pile. Once I place a card, I then draw a card. The objective of this game is to get rid of all your cards, or have the fewest number of cards possible, And now this is the end of my turn because I placed one and then I drew one. It's the next person's turn. They may do the same thing, which is place 1. So here, blue goes on to blue, and then draw a card. The game will continue in this fashion. Now, how do you get points? And remember, you don't want points. What you need to do is remember the magic number 10. Whenever any of the rows add up to 10 or more, you need to be aware of this. So in this case, there's a 2 and a 0, which equals 2. Here I have a 1 and a 2, which equals 3. So the current scores on the board are 2, 3, 4, and 3. Now, let's say we continued the game and we placed a few more cards, and we got to a situation where, let's say here, this is 8, and it's my turn. Now, let me do this instead. Let's say here, I have 7. If I were to place this card, it busts it. It goes over 10. So it's 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 3 is 12. That is bigger than 10. What happens is I then have to take this whole column, all the yellow cards, and place it in front of me. These are now my points. And remember, the objective is to have as fewest points as possible. So me going over 10 wasn't really good for myself, but sometimes that happens. Now, let's say that I had it at 9, and it was my turn as well, and I had this card in my hand. And this is a 1, and 9 plus 1 equals 10. So remember that magic number 10? If I hit it exactly at 10, not 9 or 11 or higher, then what happens is all these cards, I get to give it to the other players. The way that I do this is I take all, and I start with the person on my left, and I go clockwise and give them the points. So here I gave them each one, skip myself, it goes back around clockwise. This player now has 2 points, and this player has 1. So me making the column hit 10 points was pretty good for myself, because I got to give the other players points while I got 0. So these are the 2 ways that you can get points, either hitting it at exactly 10 points or going over 10. Now, once this happens and you see that the whole column is gone, what happens is that that color now becomes like a wild color. So any yellows, in this case, can be placed on any of the piles. So the color no longer matters for the yellows. It acts just the same way, so this is still the number 3. If I were to put it here, the score is 5, because 2 plus 0 plus 3 equals 5. Or if I were to put it here, it is also 5, as 1 plus 2 plus 3, it's 6, equals 6. And that's the way that the game goes, by collecting points. The game then ends either when the draw pile is finished or when all 4 of the columns have been taken in and distributed as points. At the very end, you calculate how many cards you took in as points, and the person with the fewest number of points wins. Thank you.